Don't let the serene lady with her cute brown jumper dress daydreaming about a certain red-headed Scotsman fool you. No, my friends, she was a hot mess express while making this garment. The home sewer journey is not always an easy journey. Sometimes it makes one feel like, what am I doing? This is not working. I don't know what I'm doing. Honestly, do not know what I'm doing. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I thought the pattern said easy. The pattern lied. Hello friends! This week's project, I am continuing my journey in building out my Outlander bounding wardrobe. I decided to take some of my brown wool suiting material to make myself a 1960s jumper dress. So this week I am going to attempt to make Simplicity's R11273 1960s vintage dress. This is a modern pattern that is a reproduction of basically what they printed back in the 1960s. This pattern is pretty straightforward. I am going to go for option B without the pot wool. I am going to do pockets, but I'm not going to do pockets on my outside garment. I'm going to put pockets, like hidden pockets within the skirt. Here's my dilemma, and please tell me I'm not the only one. So I've joked about my body type. It's shaped like a potato. Basically, my bust size is the same measurement as my waist size. I do not have that classic hourglass shape that these big box patterns have. So unfortunately, I am between two pattern sizes. Not only between two pattern sizes, but two sets of sizes. For those of you guys who don't know, these commercial patterns generally come in two size sets. So you get one envelope has the US sizes 6 through 14, and the other envelope has the larger sizes, the 16 through 24. Well, my bust size is a size 14 and my waist is a size 18, thus I have to get two sizes. So I've already cut the pattern out, the tissue paper. I cut the bottom in my 18 size and then the top in my 14 size. I'm going to attempt to line the tissue papers up and kind of smooth out the line between the waist and the bust area. I'm going to follow the directions that is printed in the tissue paper. I'm kind of going to go a little rogue from the directions. This Simplicity pattern is not lined. They barely have like a lined neck. That's the only part. It's not gonna be lined throughout the rest of the torso. I am going to have at least my bodice fully lined with some leftover brown linen that I have in my stash. Enough rambling. I'm gonna go ahead and lay out my tissue patterns and see if I can smooth out this line and then start cutting fabric. What I attempted to do was line up the two different sizes, connect the dots between the two in hopes of when I put the bodice and the skirt together, everything would match up. I did this to all of the points on the bodice, including the darts. Then I transferred all of the original markings onto my new pattern paper. Once all done, it was time to test my pattern with a mock-up. Alright, I have my lining sewed up. I have my pajamas on too. I feel like I have to take up a lot in the shoulder, probably 2 inches on each side. I still have a lot of bagginess, and the apex of the darts don't really like sit right, but I feel like, well, the back fits pretty well. I feel like once the skirt is on it, it'll like weigh it down a little bit, so it'll smooth out those lines, but I still have baggage right here. So, and that's normal for me. I feel like for most patterns that I make, especially the big box ones, I have to take in a lot in like this area because of my body shape. I think I will like how it fits better if I just take it in a wee bit.
2,000 years later.
What am I doing? This is not working. It's been a couple weeks since I've touched this project because it wasn't coming together as easily as I thought it was supposed to. So I'm determined to forge on and finish this guy. Why is this all tangled up? Oh my gosh. Hold up. try this on without other people over. Okay. It fell. On. I feel like there's a lot to take in the E's and the shoulders, and it like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Ow. I don't know what I'm doing. Honestly, do not know what I'm doing. I feel like the point of the dart, the apex, should be at the height of my bust, and if I do that, I pull it up like there, which means I need to take in a lot right here, which creates like gaping. So I wonder, I swear, the first $100 or I know $200 I make, if I ever get ads, I'm gonna buy me a dress form that actually fits me so I don't have to do this. It looks big, but I feel like once I get, hold up, I feel like once I get a zipper, it'll be fine. Right? The back will be fine, right? Or not, right? Alright, so my plan is to cut a new one from this. So I pinned up the middle because if I took it on the side, it was going to gape this way. I'm going to take this off somehow. Literally pinned onto my clothing because I needed it to be pinned right here. It's not even pinned right. To pretend that it was zipped up all the way to make sure I don't have gapiness in the back. I'm going to try to chalk this a line because that's too big. So I'm gonna kind of cut in to make the arm side bigger. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I thought the pattern said easy. The pattern lied. Liar face. All right, so now I'm going to try to take this off without losing too many of the pins and try to transfer it and draw a new pattern. So I got the pattern out because I was like, it can't be that difficult. Like my body, I know my body is different than most people's, but it can't be that difficult. So I pinned in the darts on the front bodice. I feel like the back is okay, except like the shoulders. So I'm gonna work on the front first. So once I put it up against myself and I line up that dart and make this line right here straight for the zipper portion. So it does overlap. So this is where I'm getting that gaping. So I'm gonna draw a line and make that line straight. I feel like I am going to have to take this arm's in just a hair. This V is fine, so I'm gonna try that first.
Let me tell you something. I hate the mock-up process. It's really hard to do a fitting on yourself by yourself. It's hard for me to keep the patience and trust the mock-up process because I love me some instant gratification. But if I have learned nothing but one lesson, that is I must always do at least a few fittings before I cut into my fashion fabric because right out of the box patterns just don't fit my body type well. And I have wasted too many yards of fashion fabric to make multiple fitting mistakes.
I feel like I've gotten somewhere. I think the alterations did pretty well. I have like some bunching right here, and I feel like the weight of the skirt might pull that down. My back hurts. Old ladies like me should not be cutting on the floor. Okay, so making progress. I have pinned the lining to the inside with the right sides out. I had to use a lot of pins, so I'm going to go ahead and do a basting stitch around this. I'm going to use basting tape basting? No. I'm gonna use bias tape to finish off. So I am about to sew the bias tape around the arms, eyes, and the neck. I just watched a YouTube tutorial on how to do a mitered corner, so I'm gonna attempt to do that. All right, so I got to my spot on my line, so I'm gonna make sure that my needle is in the fabric. I'm going to pivot and sew towards the corner. Okay, take this out and see. Well, I'm gonna have to do that again, but at least I know how to do mitered corners. I sewed it on the wrong side. I sewed it on the lining side, and so when I flip it over, the nice seam is on the lining side, and I would have to hand stitch on the fashion fabric side, which is not that big a deal, but my hand stitching skills are not as nice, so I'd rather have the machine stitch on the fashion side. So I'm going to go cook dinner and then take my handy dandy seam ripper and do this again, but at least I know what I'm doing, so I will not be filming that because it's just gonna be the repeat of what just happened. What I was able to accomplish yesterday night, I put on the bias tape around the armholes and the neckline. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about the contrasting trim. It kind of almost looks like it's inside out, but it's already on. I'm going to live with it for a couple of wears, and if I don't like it at the end, I can always replace it with, hopefully once I put the skirt on and I put the bias tape on the bottom, it'll kind of balance it out. Today I'm going to start doing the skirt. I serged and stitched all of the skirt edges, leaving the right hand side open. It's looking pretty cool. I'm excited. So I am about to attach the skirt to the top. However, I want to make sure I get the skirt line or the top of the waistline fine. Measuring tape and just kind of pretended that it was a belt around me and put it where I think my belt would sit. So, and I marked a line with my chalk. It looks like the back looks pretty good. I won't have to, because of seam allowance, take up the back, but the front I will. So when I sew everything, I will make sure I stitch right along that line. Hopefully the waist circumference of my skirt matches up with my top, since I did have to alter this pattern to fit my waist and my chest. Forge on. Hopefully I'll have a wearable garment by the end of tomorrow.
I was off about 2 inches in the skirt waist, which wasn't a big deal. I just cut the extra fabric off at the side seams, and all there was left was to install the zipper, attach the hooks, and finish the hem. I'm not gonna lie, the simple jumper dress was a pain in the butt to make, but I am in love with the finished product. Taking the extra time to ensure that the garment fit me properly was well worth the frustration of the mock-up process. I now want to make all of the jumper dresses to wear this fall and winter. Let me know your favorite pattern in the comments below so I can get started. I love how versatile this jumper is. I can wear it with a number of shirts underneath, and I can easily pair it with a few of my Outlander accessories for an easy breezy Outlander bounding look. If you have made it this far in the video, you are awesome. Do me a favor and leave a like and a comment on this video. It really helps my channel out, and bye bye until next time.